Okay, I'm starting recording with the phone. Now I'm going to start recording the screen. There we go. Okay, so just enjoy the ride. I don't even know this is going to work, or it's going to lag, or it's going to be jerky, or what.
PC disconnected.
Hang on.
And there's a picture of a toilet.
How's that? Can you see anything? And no, just stay bear with me. If your headset has become disabled. I think we might have left it too long. That's unfortunate. Let me just have a look at the can you see anything through that?
I can see a sort of a white thing there and a screen here that says PC disconnected. You've returned to your Quest home menu. Unplug your headset and plug it back in. Oh right, okay. And you need to click OK. Alright. Access Rift apps. Enable request link.
Enable. Use this.
Oh right.
Just point it at it and pull the trigger. Say enable.
What trigger? Oh, okay. Well, I've got 3 dots now.
I don't understand. Let me see. That's volume. Explain loading, it says. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, there we go. Put it back on. I'll remove that.
Right.
Okay. Bit of a faff. Like I say, this is all experimental. I don't actually know if this is going to work. Yes, it's working.
Oh, right. Now
okay.
That's better.
I just reset the view. So you're sitting comfortably.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we shall begin. All I have to do is press play, and that should do it. So just enjoy the ride. We're going to this is Inverness, and we're going down to Broadford, which is on the Isle of Skye.
All right, I know Skye.
Via Loch Ness. This is heading west. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to get laggy or it's going to work or not. But feel free to look around, you know.
Oh my god.
Just move the phone just so you can see the screen. That's what Fiona's actually seeing now, but I'm going to try and put that in the video as well.
Are we going there all the way upside down?
No, I just wanted to try that out. See how you were coping with it. You can look straight up.
Yeah.
And that's looking like the ground above you, and then I'll roll it out shortly. Because what I've actually done in order to achieve this is I did the flight myself in VR, and then I hit replay mode on the actual computer. So she's actually in VR in the replay. Because obviously you can see I'm not flying the aeroplane at the same time. So I've already done the flight, but she's enjoying the replay. Okay, a bit of low level here. This is just before Inverness, following the coast eastbound from the airport.
We should have gone to Balmoral.
Well, we can do that next time. I just want to see if it works, really. This is the main purpose of doing this, to see if it actually works.
We're doing a loop.
No, we're just climbing now. Because we don't want to go low level over Inverness, because we'll be breaking the law, won't we? The low flying regulations. Wouldn't want to do that, would we? I should have got a chair.
It's interesting. The sensation is there, and that's got to be psychological. I mean, if I was in a real aeroplane right now, I'd be screaming my head off. I hate flying.
So pretty much over the top of Inverness now, and then you see Loch Ness coming up ahead of you. That lake. That's the top end of Loch Ness, which is at
Oh,
Inverness.
okay. I didn't know that. I thought Loch Ness was near Glasgow.
No, it's it runs sort of southwest from Inverness.
Right. I've driven along it quite a few times, so I should know. I think it's Loch Lomond I'm thinking of.
Okay, so we're descending in an inverted dive now, and we're going to level out and fly down Loch Ness. So I'll just get a chair.
Over G.
It's quite weird actually. I can hear the ropes creaking at the back of the boat as well.
When the boat's stormy and there's buffeting and about a bit, it's quite weird because it sort of adds to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of turbulence. In the Loch Ness Monster yet?
No.
Did you miss
Do they
it?
put one in?
Yeah, they put one in.
Right. Oh, right. I look forward to seeing that.
It's ahead of you, I think. Slightly off to the left.
Yeah, I can see a black thing
So
in the water.
it'll be coming down the left side.
Oh, right. Cool. The icy Nessie.
Yeah, that's it. Someone obviously put that in for a joke.
Well, you know my theory on Loch Ness, don't you?
And we've got Urquhart Castle just coming up on the nose there on the right.
And what's that famous for?
It was a Scottish castle. One of the clans used to own it.
Didn't Alistair Crowley have a house up the back of it?
Not sure, but it was destroyed in a storm apparently in the 1700s, and nobody bothered to repair it and move back in because they thought it's a bit expensive. I thought you had a storm that blew a castle down. What kind of storm was that?
My dad had a friend who was playing tennis or something on Loch Ness, you know, up one of the hills.
Yeah.
And he said a bloody great eel, huge eel, about 40 foot long, came down off the hills, the trunk of its body like that, and the guy got one of those grass roller things, and he rolled it at it, and he said it just went straight over it and bounced out the way, and this thing shot off down towards the loch. And there's a story from the 1920s of some people in a car describing exactly the same thing. Apparently there's massive eels, and they can go up on the land.
Really?
But I think Nessie is a sea turtle. I think it's an animal that can travel over land. And the shape of it, you know, when we see them at sea, when they really crank their heads up, they've actually got really long necks. And you'd see the long neck,
It's
the
possible
hump,
that
and the
there's-
tail, the shape and description.
Well, I think there'd be more sightings of them. The turtles don't care, they'll climb out.
Turtles
Just
live
sit there.
hundreds of years. I mean, look at Lulu in Brighton. What's she, 200 years old?
Yeah, but they'll come out on the beach and the shore and people will see them. That's the difference, isn't it, really?
We don't see sea turtles that often, though. If you think of all the dolphin trips, we maybe see turtles 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah. That's true. Saw one the other week.
Yeah, I'm never on the boat when you see them, and they're my favourites.
Right, we're coming up to the end of Loch Ness because there's
Is it a sea loch?
there's two lochs. The Royal Navy built a canal. It's called the Caledonian Canal. It goes through Loch Ness and it goes through the next loch, and then into the sea at Fort William.
Oh, I know, Fort William. Oh,
So yeah, but we're not going as far as Fort William. We just fly to the end of Loch Ness, which is coming up now. And it doesn't take long to get down Loch Ness. Not this speed. And
the kids used to like that film, didn't they? About the Loch Ness monster. The seahorse or something.
I vaguely remember a film called The Seals. Vaguely. No, there's a castle or an old
Monastery.
manor house
There's a
sort of
monastery
thing
on
at the end of
Loch
Loch Ness, at the bottom end. So keep a lookout for that. And then we take a right and go cross country to the Isle of Skye through a bit of low level in the mountains there. What do you think of it so far? Is it a bit jerky, or is it keeping up with it?
There's slight lag, but I mean, it's not so bad that it doesn't feel realistic.
I don't have to leave all of it in. I mean, I could cut bits to make it more interesting. Right, hey, are we coming up to the end of the loch now?
Mm-hmm.
See if you can see that. I don't know how much scenery it puts in, you see, in the replays.
Well, the more scenery you have, the more laggy it's going to be.
Yeah. And it is quite a really old gaming PC. No, I don't think that...
It is not a really old game. Oh, half my screen went back then.
No. Just going to keep your head still. But when it starts to lag... No, it's going too lag. It's just lagging out on me. We'll bear with it and just see what it's like, but it's just an experiment, like I say.
It's quite flat in Inverness, isn't it?
There are some hills,
And green.
But the main monsters are on the west coast.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed now.
Yeah.
Sort of over in that direction.
Well, you should have gone to Oronsay.
Well, I could go anywhere. I can go anywhere you want. But I don't want to make the film too long because it'll be boring. I've watched the Blue Angels and I'm really into planes, you know. After a few minutes, I get bored watching it. So
Who are they?
they're the American Red Arrows.
Oh, right.
They're way better than the Red Arrows, though. And all the planes fly a lot closer, and they're more modern. I think they're using F-18s. Americans have got more money though, so British are always doing things on a budget, and even on a budget, the Red Arrows are not cheap to maintain. No, it's going very laggy now, isn't it?
A little bit. Is it like this when you're flying it?
No, it's dead smooth when I'm flying it. But I'm recording it as well, you see, on Streamlabs. Notice when she turns her head, you can see, I'm going to sync them in so you'll be able to see that she's actually sat in the cockpit.
Oh yeah, I can show them the cockpit. Look. There's nobody there. Keep getting an egg timer. Oh, you got a little map there.
Yeah, in the middle of the dash there. Comes in handy.
You've got a cool chair as well.
This is a trainer, so your
Oh,
students...
I've got blue circle. Am I moving outside of the zone?
Yeah. Try and just relax and just look forwards, I suppose. It's a two-seat trainer. It's the latest American Boeing.
Is it two-seat?
Boeing Saab. Yeah, there's a seat. You're in the front. There's your instructor will be in the back seat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It is kind of incredible that you can see this sort of thing. I mean, once upon a time we wouldn't have had a clue, would we? What the pilots were sitting in.
Once I knew VR came along, I thought there's no going back to that 2D screen. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
This is just so much more real in VR. And it's not perfect, but it's obviously going to get better all the time, isn't it? Don't you think, darling?
Yep.
Do you want a swig of your tea?
Oh,
Just lift your VR headset up about 2 followers and then just take a sip. That's what I do with wine when
Thank
I'm
you.
flying. Don't drink wine when you're flying, you know, and the real thing. It's frowned upon. I did notice that some of the data in the heads-up display isn't working. It doesn't matter.
it's amazing how you sort of feel the G-force as you go up and down, which, as we all know, is a physical impossibility.
Well, you can see she's just sitting in a chair at home.
Yeah, but you can actually feel it. So this yellow lever here, that's the ejection seat, is it?
It is, yeah.
And what's this orange one?
The
here?
yellow lever to the right, that arms and disarms the seat.
Right.
So you have to have that armed, obviously. If you forget to arm it,
Yeah.
it won't work. And because this is the latest high-tech fighter trainer, you've got all the latest screens on the front there, which is when pilots qualify in this, they move on to the F-35 series, and they're very familiar with all the. They like to have all the instruments more or less similar. So obviously the weapon systems will be top secret, and they won't know, but they can guess at it with the simulators. But
I mean, I imagine the graphics and the scenery will get better and better over the years, because Scotland is
Yeah.
really
well, it's not laggy like this when I'm flying it.
right.
It's dead smooth.
No, but I mean the detail of the scenery. Scotland is very, very clean.
Oh, it's beautiful.
All the water, all the air is so clean and crisp, and very dramatic.
I love Scotland.
I mean, this is not bad. This is not bad scenery, but I mean, when you see the hills and mountains and stuff in Scotland, it's mind blowing. It's like prehistoric.
Yeah. Well, this is. I mean, I've flown all over Scotland. This is a brilliant download. This is.
I
not,
have
this
driven all over Scotland in
This
real
is
time.
what I
driving
haven't.
an
You see,
actual car.
this is the default scenery. This is not the default scenery. This is the add-on scenery that I bought,
Right.
which is a lot better than the default scenery. But I've got X-Plane 12 now, which is supposed to be a lot better than this. But all the aeroplanes I've bought are not compatible in. So you've got to buy them all over again. So
Oh right.
I thought I'll just stick with 11 for now. And then I'll just pick my favourite, because you tend to find when you buy loads of different aeroplanes that you only fly certain ones that you really like, and this is one that I really like. I've flown hundreds of hours in this. So yeah, it's a shame it's like you like that.
How far away are we from Skye now?
Oh, not far. Let's have a look on my. We're about 6 minutes out. Can you bear it for another 6 minutes?
Yeah, go on.
You can take it off if you want. It's just an experiment. Honestly, it's just an experiment. I'm just trying to see if it will do something new.
I haven't seen Skye in years.
Stretching the boundaries.
There are 2 islands called Egg and Rum.
I've
never been to them.
Southwest.
But we used to pass them on the ferry. We used to see them.
I've been there. On the flight sim.
I'm not sure if they're inhabited or not.
They are. There's a few little
Right,
villages there, but there's not much.
right.
Well, I'm not impressed with all that lag.
Do you want to try it again later? So I think a 6-minute journey might be a bit longer because
It's all laggy. Like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, take the headphones off. Take the headset off when you're ready.
Because this is quite low level flying, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it should feel a lot faster than this, shouldn't it?
Oh yeah. It's the whole point of low level flying. It's great fun.
Yeah.
Although you can fly faster when you're higher up. dare say that when they're improving these games, I mean, a massive thing would be if 2 people can wear 2 VR headsets.
I think there are communities that you can join where you can fly, and I think they've got air traffic control, and you get told off if you like it's a real aeroplane. And I think you can do dog fighting. There are communities. I think if you go on Discord, there's probably groups.
Oh, I think there are.
And then they have their own servers, and then you can join.
I've been invited into DCS loads of times by people.
Well, why don't you do it?
Because I can't configure the controllers. It's so difficult to assign.
Right.
I got the you get a P51 for free, and I couldn't even assign. I mean, you've only got basic controllers, joystick, gear up and down, flaps, and throttles and prop controls. Couldn't even do that because I'm not really that computer savvy, really. And then when you come back to explain, all your control settings are gone. You've got to reassign everything from scratch. But it is actually really easy in explain. That's why I've stuck with it, because I'm an idiot.
I'm just surprised that playback would be laggy. I would have expected the actual, when you're flying it, to be laggy. I think we might be speeding up now.
Try keeping really still. See, that makes a difference. It is speeding up, isn't it?
Yeah, it has just speeded up a bit.
See, I do a lot of this when I'm flying. But you notice Fiona's not doing it.
Not doing what?
Tilt your head. There. I mean, this is the first time we've tried this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe we're being a bit adventurous for the first one. Maybe we should
I don't know, I'm not familiar with
do
any of
something
it.
a little bit more basic.
I think I can see the coast now.
Yeah, it won't be far away. We come across the wall, so you should be able to see the lighthouse and Skye. We come in from the south. Because Broadford's in the south. It's a massive island, the Isle of Skye. It's bigger than you think. Way bigger.
Right, that's the sea, isn't it? Or is that another loch?
It's a loch, but yeah, the loch, it could be a sea loch. There's inland lochs and sea lochs. I think this is the sea loch coming up to. I think there's one more rise.
There's one called Loch Seaforth.
Is that? There's Loch Carron as well. I think when south of Loch Carron. Yeah, we are. In fact, you know that castle where the Highlander was filmed?
Yeah.
Erlene Donovan, I think it's called. That's very close to the Isle of Skye, and I fly past that quite a lot. Not on this video. I could do that one. I'll try something slow. Then the scenery's whizzing past quite quick here, so
I like helicopters better.
maybe we should do a helicopter next, and you can sit in the cockpit.
Yeah, 'cause you
and
can
look
hover.
around. Yeah.
I might even fly it myself.
So if you remember how to do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
As long as it's not a death trap.
I'll put you in the one that you were in before.
pretty high.
Well, we can definitely improve on it. We'll find the right settings for it.
I reckon a helicopter and a tour of Balmoral Estate.
This is the Isle of Skye, I believe. Is it frozen? Sometimes you get that hourglass spinning, and that's telling you it's buffering. So we're nearly there now. This is the Isle of Skye. Coming up, you should see the lighthouse in your 11 o'clock. That's just left, yeah.
Yes, I see it.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, it's taken quite a while to cross the water, isn't it?
It's doing about 400 knots. So it should get there quite quickly, but it's lagging the time, isn't it? Not too the same, is it? It's not in sync. So when I'm editing this, I'll have to cut loads of bits out to get it in sync. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't fly it if it was this slow, it was this jerky. Laggy. Then if you turn all your graphics settings down, it's you just
These hills, they have mesh on them, colliders.
Yeah, well I think Orbex is an Australian company, because when you buy it
So I mean
online,
that would be a lot more helpful if they didn't have mesh colliders, more experienced pilots, because you're not going to fly into a mountain, are you?
well, I try not to.
The colliders actually, they use up a lot, a lot. They can slow the game right down.
Do they?
Yeah, you can have a box collider, which is just generally around the shape. You know, when you play a game and you go up to something and you're not even able to touch it, it's like it's got a square force field. That uses less memory than a mesh. Mesh takes the shape and the form of it, and that takes a lot more maths.
Right.
Slowed everything
I
down.
suppose low level flying doesn't help. Because these X-plane especially.
Well, the scenery, I don't think should hold it up too much. But I mean, have you ever tried flying into a mountain to see if you crash?
I have crashed, yeah. Not very often.
Right.
Usually only the one time. But yeah, you can hit the ground if you mess up.
I mean, obviously your runway needs a mesh.
The runway's coming. We're almost there. You should see the runway any second.
There's a lot of trees.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite disappointed it's that laggy. So we'll try some slower stuff with helicopters.
Yeah.
Or some high level stuff. This high level should be smoother, I would have thought. I don't know.
I can't see the runway yet. I'm beginning to think we're never going to get there, Graham.
Well, it took longer than I thought it would.
This is not a 10-minute film, is it?
Well, I had initially, it was 12 initially, but it's obviously not running at the right speed, is it?
I think something's wrong in the settings.
Well, like I say, it's the first time I've tried it, so.
See if there's something running in the background. No, I don't believe the runway's nearly here at all. I think
You
it's a
should be able
long
to
way
see
away.
it. It should be just on the
see
left.
it.
It should be on the left, just here. There's the island. It's between you and the first island.
What, in between the trees?
You see where the first island is?
We've got to go all the way to that island.
No. It's on
Oh
the
my God.
coast. It's on the coast of this island,
Right.
but it's lined up with that island. It's right there, the airport. She thinks I'm lying.
I'll take your word for it. That's what you meant. We've got to go to some island in the
No,
distance, and that, my God, I'm going to be a skeleton by the time we get there.
Do you want another swig of your tea?
No, I'm alright.
I've got hold of you, Fiona. It's okay. You'll be fine.
I'm a lot more used to it than I was years ago.
You see the airport, yeah?
No?
Tell me when you can see the airport. I can see it. But I know where it is. So it's on the coast there. Okay, we're gonna.
Oh, I see.
So we just do a low pass, turn around, and then we land. And that's it. You're free to go.
Right.
How are we doing so far? Oh, 31 minutes.
I was going to say, this is not a 10-minute video. You said, be 10 minutes, be 10 minutes.
Well, it was 10 minutes when I made it.
It's like Megan's car chase.
Catastrophe! Catastrophe!
It's like a fast jet on a Zimmer frame.
Don't.
I'm
I'm
sure you'll
trying to
get
tell
the
people how
settings.
cool this is.
It is.
It's just showing me up, isn't it? It's just
We
showing me up
believe
as a
you.
liar. It's awful and shit.
No, it's all right.
It's not alright, it's way too slow.
Oh, I don't think we're going to make it.
That's the runway, we're going to land on that.
Upside down.
No.
Oh my God, we're not doing a go round, are we? And then landing.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was all really quick when I did it.
It's like my mum and dad used to drag me to, I don't know, classical music concerts.
opera.
It's very nice. I like classical music, but I mean, they'd go on, they'd be like 5-6 hours long. I remember standing up clapping because I thought it had finished. You know, they have this crescendo and then the orchestra goes quiet, and we were in the royal box as well at Glyndebourne, and I thought it was the end, and I stood up and I went, "Oh, bravo!" It was just a pause in the music. And I said to my dad, "Oh my God, how much longer is this going to go on for?" And he said, "Only 4.5 hours."
This is the beginning of
4.5
46. I'm 64, I think.
Yeah, and you have like a piece of paper, you can look at it all. And I said to him, "Where are we up to on this?" And there's like 16 verses, and he goes, "We're on the second line of the first verse." Oh, we've been there an hour.
Why torture yourself with all that?
I didn't. They forced me
It's
to
pretentious people go and pretend to enjoy it, don't they? Everyone did marvellous, yes, we
go.
love
My
it.
mum was supporting one of the musical, I don't know if it was East Sussex Youth Jazz Orchestra or something like that. She was supporting them.
So you're saying my flight simulator is that painful? Well, in replay mode, it's not that good, is
So
it?
these mirrors, these things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea, having 3 mirrors.
See
I
if-
can't see anything in them.
To see if someone's sneaking up behind you.
Right.
I guess there's no one behind you.
No.
Right.
Oh God, we must be miles away from the
This is it, we're
airport.
coming into- it's just off to your right now.
Oh.
That's it. It's just there, see? So we're going to do a U-turn and land. Are you ready for the landing?
Yes, I've been ready for the landing for about 29 minutes.
You've been a real diamond though, Fiona.
I mean, I'll play things like Age of Empires. I just don't think this is my cup of tea. It's the helicopter thing, because you can be close to the ground and hover around looking at things.
Yeah.
I never really understood flying anyway. Because when we used to go up at Shoreham, it was all, oh, is that the gear going down?
Yeah. See the 3 red lights on the left-hand side of the screen? That's the gear indicator. They go green when the wheels are down and locked. And this aeroplane's automatic, and if it thinks that you're going a bit fast, it will raise the gear for you.
Right.
When you didn't ask it to, and you think, oh, okay, it takes a bit getting used to. Then you've got to put it, lift it up and put it down again. You're in the right speed. I did all this really quick. When if you actually watch the video, but my version of it, it was all really quick. Like I said, 12 minutes it took.
If I actually watched the original video.
Well, you are watching it.
I
But
doubt I'll watch this one.
how can a 12-minute video last 35 minutes?
I think maybe because the headset disconnected, there's something else running in the background. I'm wondering.
Maybe. Right. The final approach, you're going to land there. And we can end the video. So slow. So, Mr. X-Plane, if you're listening and you're watching, this would be really cool if it could keep up with the VR headset. The passenger's watching in the replay, but maybe he'll say, well, that's your computer, my software is perfect. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe that is the truth.
No software is perfect.
Okay. There you go, Fiona. Welcome
It's
to
quite a little runway, isn't it?
Yeah. Welcome to the Isle of Skye.
And is this a commercial airport or a
Oh, I think
RAF?
it's virtually disused. Actually, the little
Oh,
white
really?
planes. Yeah,
Well, they built a bridge, didn't they, in the end?
they do.
To connect them to
Here's
the
your
mainland.
tea, darling.
Thank you
There
very
go. There's
much.
the handle. We'll knock that on the head there. She
Right.
says, "Thank God for that."
Yes, as my gran and my mum would say, thank you very much. I really enjoyed that.
I've really enjoyed it so much. Thank you for showing me. I'm never coming again.
I used to get them to come and look at things that I one day go, oh, I really enjoyed that. Thank you. Yeah, let's do a helicopter next time. Let's do Balmoral.
Next time I'm going to Balmoral in the helicopter.
Or Oronsay or something.
Or in say. Yeah, okay. Or in say.